Welcome back to Pulse on the Market. I apologize for not having an episode the last couple of days. I've been traveling back home to Oregon and back, but we do have a lot of news stories, a lot of stuff going on in the market today. I'm your host, Jaden Vrains, founder of Vrains Capital, and this is the show designed to help you guys stay in the loop with everything regarding news stories, markets, crypto, whatever it be. I'm here to keep you guys in the loop. Let's get right into it. So, we saw on Wednesday that the Fed mentioned that they were going to cut rates 3 times this year. They're staying with that estimate, with that hypothesis. And this was good news for the market. So with the potential rate cuts, we saw an increase in the markets. And well, today the Dow was down and the S&P, but the Nasdaq was up. So right when that news came out, chip makers like AMD, Nvidia, TSM, they all just launched. They took off. Nvidia is back up to $940 a share after dropping under $900 just a couple days ago. And they were getting waxed pretty hard. They're down around $850. Now they're back up to $940. They're up around $950 at one point yesterday. And it's just been solid for Nvidia. I'm bullish on Nvidia still. They have a lot of room to grow. Their B100 Blackwell chip is phenomenal, and it's going to hit the market later this year. So it's not like a 2-3 year project like some of these, but they're going to come out with a chip later this year, and it's around 30 to 40 grand, which is cheaper than people are expecting. And so it'll be more accessible, more people will be able to buy them, and I think it will see huge growth in the revenue still. I mean, this is their main revenue source is just fueling AI. I mean, they got the data storages, the computing power, and especially for large language models like OpenAI, Gemini. This new chip will make it so much faster and more efficient. All right, let's see for news stories. So Reddit IPO'd, and we saw an immediate just rush. I mean, it went up around, around 48% on its market debut, and it later closed at around $50 a share, but it exceeded the IPO price of $34, which is crazy. So, I mean, this indicates strong investor interest. And it's interesting because Reddit still hasn't made a single profit. And, I don't know how long it's been around, 10 years, 20 years. And they still are yet to make a profit. Their top line is there. They're making a lot of top line. But still, bottom line has not come through. Why are people investing in it? It's because of the potential to raise that bottom line and become profitable one day. And apparently they have a lot of potential to do that. But as of right now, especially for social medias, it is very difficult to be profitable. Like Snapchat, they lose billions. And it is very, very hard in that industry to stay profitable. Target doubles down, they doubled their annual bonuses for salaried employees as it recovers from a tough phase with $2 billion in additional profit growth. So they've actually been doing pretty well. And this extra $2 billion, they're going to boost the employees' salaries, which is cool. I like that. If I were an employee, I would love this. And so this exceeds their initial goals. And I believe that Target actually has been doing pretty solid recently. They had a good earnings report, and I mean they were down on the day, but let's see here. On the year, they're up 19%. So they're doing great on the year. Go Target. And I'm a fan. If I were to invest in any retail stocks, this would be definitely in the ETF that I would make. All right. Let's see here. Lululemon, they exceeded their expectations. This is similar to Nike. Both Lululemon and Nike exceeded their expectations, but the outlook fell short on both their estimates. So Lululemon dropped around 10% in their share price after hours, and Nike fell around 8 to 9%. So, I mean, this has been very tough on these companies, especially with inflation and staying profitable with the influx of competition in both these areas. It has been very, very tough to continue growing like they once were. Oh, man, Boeing fallout and more bad news with Boeing. So there's good news for Airbus. So Airbus, they secured orders for 65 jets from major Asian carriers like Japan Airlines and Korean Air, And this is a significant win amid Boeing's production challenges. So as you guys know, that there's been issues with Boeing being able to create as many airplanes as they said they were. And there are companies like Southwest and the other ones that are ordering planes that are getting not nearly as many as they asked for. And airline CEOs of Boeing, airline CEOs have requested a meeting with Boeing's board due to concerns over production issues and the Alaska Airlines 737 MAX incident. So that is still going on. And they're referring to the panel that flew off mid-flight. And, I mean, airline CEOs, the airlines are very skeptical right now. Boeing has been having issue after issue. The whistleblower that magically died in his truck before the trial. And just stuff like that. It has not been a good look for Boeing. Home sales. So U.S. home sales surged 9.5% in February, reaching a 4.38 million unit annual rate. So this marks the largest monthly increase in a year, and the median home price rose to $384,000. So we're continuing to see house prices rise, and we all saw this coming. Along with that is the rates for mortgages has gone up dramatically since COVID, obviously, but it's around 6.7%, I believe, for the mortgage rates, but the rates will get cut pretty soon here, 3 times this year. So we should see an influx of refinancing and also people just buying homes. And that's why it's not too crazy or too important to wait to buy a house, because you can always refinance later once the rates drop and just take the hit now. So it's not always the best move to just wait, because then, there's always a chance that the rates even go higher, and then you're going to wish that you had done it in the first place. All right. Little earnings report. So Nike, their revenue was $12.43 billion, which is up 0.3% year over year, just a little bit. They beat that by $1.12 billion. And their EPS was 0.77. And that's down 2.5% year over year. They beat that by $0.09 per share. FedEx, the revenue was $21.7 billion, which is impressive. That's down 2% year over year. They missed that by $340 million, but their EPS was 3.86, which is up 13% year over year. They beat that by $0.41 per share. So it shows that they're becoming more profitable. Not as much top line, but their bottom line is increasing. That means that whatever they're doing, they're increasing the efficiency of their assets, of what they're doing. All right, Lululemon, their revenue was $3.21 billion, which is up 15% year over year, and they beat that by $15 million. And their EPS was 5.29, and that is up 20% year over year. So still solid growth out of Lululemon, but once again, just the guidance, the overlook of their expectations was low. All right. That really is it for earnings reports. We got McCormick & Company, Cintas. We got Paycheck, Carnival Corporation, Walgreens. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. Walgreens has been looking terrible. Their estimates are down 5% year over year in revenue and 34% year over year in EPS. Not a very solid growth company. Auna just went public as well, and they're a Latin American operating healthcare provider. And yeah, they were down once they came out. Let me check this. So Auna, it's AUNA. Okay. So they're actually pretty flat. So it did spike up from like 960 all the way up to 1025, and now they're back down to 960. So it's just been flopping around a little bit. And the healthcare industry is a little tough. Yeah, and it'd be kind of risky investing in healthcare at the moment. Just a personal opinion, but we'll see. All right. So Micron Technology, MU, they were set to hit a record high. They were up 15.7% pre-market trading. So they had a surprise profit and a revenue forecast that exceeded expectations. So, this has been solid. I've been bullish on Micron for quite a bit now. And their revenue was $5.8 billion, which is up 57% year over year. They beat that by $494 million. And an EPS of 0.42, which beat it by 0.68. So they were expecting them to be negative. But no, Micron comes out and is positive, way positive. And so they just exploded the expectations, and the stock just took off. So currently, MU, or Micron, their ticker's MU, they're at 110 per share, and just before their earnings report, they're at around 96-ish, and now they're up to 110, so it just took off. That's legit. All right, Apple is getting hit. They're getting hammered with an antitrust lawsuit, or whatever you call it. But basically, they're getting sued for being a monopoly, for monopolistic behaviors, such as just the crazy, premiums on the App Store for app developers. And they've just made it very, very difficult for people to use stuff or create stuff outside of the Apple network. They just made it very difficult. I mean, this is a terrible example, and it doesn't really illustrate it, but just stuff like, text turning blue when you use an iPhone, and if you don't, then it's kind of like it's a social status to not have, or if you have green, then it's like, ooh, look at that guy with his green text, he's got a Samsung. That's not one of the reasons why they're getting sued, but I'm just saying they've created an ecosystem that prevents other developers and other people to branch outside of the Apple ecosystem, and it basically forces developers and everyone to stay inside of it, people to use iPhones, and they've just been getting sued for monopolistic behaviors. And I wish I had more examples of this, but basically what the DOJ, the Department of Justice, wants is to create more opportunities for other people to compete with Apple, and just to not be forced to, just to coincide within that ecosystem. I don't know a crap ton on it. I will research that a little more, but yes, so they're getting sued. That's really what you need to know. Their charts hasn't been looking too well since the decline of iPhone sales in China due to Huawei, which is the Chinese iPhone, basically. Their smartphone has been doing very well. Sales have been going down in China, and it just hasn't been super great for them. And so their stock has been dropping, and they even received their first sell in I don't know how long from an institution. And this is weird because Apple used to be that stock that just was constantly growing, that Nvidia. But hey, times always change. They can't do that forever. All right. Neuralink. So they had a trial video. Neuralink's first human patient used a brain implant to play chess in Civilization 6 on a laptop. That's crazy. This is significant for brain-computer interface technology. And oh man, I can't even comprehend how I would create that, how I would start creating that. That is so impressive. And I would love to play chess without my hands. That'd be so sick. I love chess. All right. Other than that, just with the jobless claims, they totaled 210,000, so they're down 2% or 2,000 week over week, and the four week is dropping to 211,250. They used to be around 212,000. All right. Yeah, I believe that is it. Let's just take a quick look at crypto and see how that's doing. Keep you guys updated on that. I believe it's up a little bit since it's a big drop. So let's check it out. Let me pull it up. It's at 65,000. So just last week, it dipped all the way down to around 60,000. I think it dropped a little lower than that. But so a huge drop for Bitcoin after hitting their all-time highs. It honestly might be the move just to hold on to until it hits its all-time high, sell it, because it always drops after it hits its all-time high. It's annoying. And then just buy when it drops 5-10%, and then get back in your positions, wait till the all-time high, and just kind of day trade or swing trade that in a sense. But it's still very risky. We don't really know. No one knows for sure if it's going to drop or go up. It is very volatile. Sweet. And also, just the last little trading tip for options. It is so important to calculate risk to reward, and not to always think of how much you can make, but also how much you can lose. To play defensive and to try and eliminate that risk of losing, and just to see, calculate what's my maximum loss and what's my potential gain. And to just go really strike price by strike price and analyze what would really be the best investment for my Yeah, like for example, an NVIDIA option for 2 weeks out, and you got to calculate just what's the maximum loss I could see NVIDIA taking, and what is my potential gain, and kind of calculating that, and realizing that at the money options plays are too risky, and that I can make a lot, but also this could get wiped out very quickly, and so just selecting an options play that just fits within your risk. What do you call it? I mean, I don't know. Your preferred risk, just to make sure it's fitting in that what you prefer as an investor, and just not do anything too risky. A lot of people they roll too high on options, and that's how they lose a lot of money. But just play it safe and go for the income generation style of options trading, and it will usually turn out if you do it right. But here's my little disclaimer, though. This is not institutional financial advice. This is literally just opinions, and it could all be wrong, and it's all risky. Everything can go to zero. Don't make any decisions based off this podcast alone. Make sure to do your own research or seek the advice of qualified professionals. And I'm not responsible for any losses or damages taken by you after this podcast or any actions like that. Don't sue me, please. I'm just trying to help you guys out. And that'll be it. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.